Welcome back, Awakening Beauties. Thanks for joining me today in this Faves and Unfavorables video. In case this is your first time joining me, I'm Robin, and this channel is the intersection of fashion, beauty, health, and spirituality. I love beauty products. I'm a fashion designer. I love fashion. I love color. I love beauty. I love makeup. This is the first year I really expanded my horizons in the makeup arena. I'm 52 years old, so I'm looking for things that work for me. And if you haven't watched any of my other videos, let me just tell you that 2023, I did a no-buy year. But I love to watch beauty content, as probably many of you do as well. And so I've been looking for my holy grails. This whole year has just been searching for my holy grails of products that will work on my 52-year-old face and skin, because things have changed, my friends, over the past few years. So my needs might be very different from a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old or even a 40-year-old. So these are things that worked for me. I'm gonna tell you, do your own research and find what works for you. Don't necessarily take my word for it, but I just wanna share what things I tried this year that ended up in my favorites category and the things that ended up in my unfavorites category. Starting with complexion, I actually am gonna start with sunscreen because, as we all know, it's very important to wear a daily sunscreen. In the unfavorables category, I am so sorry to say, but the undefined R&R, which was one of my favorites from last year, this ended up in my unfavorable category. I didn't even finish this bottle. I bought it twice because I knew they reformulated it, and I thought maybe I got a bad bottle from their old formulation, but the truth was, this is their new formulation. I didn't even use up this whole bottle. This has been sitting in my empties for about half of the year. I really don't like this new formula. The old formula worked beautifully. There was a little bit of separation that happened if the product got a little bit too old, but I don't like this new formulation. I'm really sorry, Undefined. It just doesn't do it for me. But something I discovered this year in my bottle, it's almost empty. Healthy Skin Lab Protect Tinted Moisturizer with Hyaluronic Acid SPF 50. This is great. This has become my go-to, probably my favorite of all of the tinted SPF moisturizers that I've tried this year. So this has ended up in my favorites. This year I tried a few different foundations, and I will tell you, I did not really find a bad one in the bunch. Starting with this Bosma foundation stick. This I wore, and there's still a lot of product left in here, but I wore this all throughout the summer because it's easy, it's fast to apply. I used it in several videos. Unlike foundation sticks that I've used in the past, did not make me greasy. It just sets down to almost a powdery matte kind of consistency on the skin, but it's not matte or drying because I do have dry skin, but it never looked patchy or made my dry skin look rough or too matte, and it didn't make me greasy either. So this is just a beautiful formula. Love this. Another foundation I have fallen in love with this year is the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. This is a beautiful formula for mature skin, but I think it would work for a multitude of skin types. It doesn't make me greasy, it doesn't dry me out, it doesn't get patchy, it has skin caring ingredients, and it's just a beautiful formula that is buildable. So those are the two standouts of the year. I don't really have any unfavorables in the foundation realm, so I'm gonna skip now over to concealer. And again, I didn't try a ton of different concealers this year, so I have two standouts, and I don't have any unfavorables in this category. Because again, I didn't try a lot of different concealers this year, trying to use up what I have. But the first one that I got was the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. This is amazing. I love this concealer. It's what I'm wearing today. It just provides beautiful coverage. It doesn't go on thick. It has a nice thin consistency, but the coverage is beautiful, and you can build the coverage as well. You can start with a little bit and then go a little bit more and build on it as much as you need. And it doesn't crease. It still is holding strong at the end of the night. It's a beautiful formula, and I have no regrets about buying this. Now, this concealer, I've used in a couple of videos, a couple of shorts too. This is the House Labs. I only have this little, I can't remember what these are called, little trial to try it out. I'm just sitting here for 2 minutes trying to think of what to call this. This is what happens after you go through menopause. You forget common words, and it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Anyways, I got this little tryout here, and so I've been using this color 11 Light Neutral. This is the House Labs Triclone Skin Tech Concealer. And again, a beautiful formula, not cakey at all. It just goes on very beautiful, doesn't crease. I mean, everything creases if your skin moves, but this is resistant to creasing, unlike the Tarte Shape Tape, which, was viral, but to me was not good on me. So anyways, I would have bought the regular size of this had I not just bought the Natasha Denona. I've been using this little one right here, and maybe I'll buy it next year when I get low on my Natasha Denona. Moving on to powders, I did try a couple of new powder formulas. I am not one of these people who buy thousands of dollars worth of products every month for a review. I am a normal human being. I am not a beauty influencer. I have a full-time job. So this is not my full-time job. So I don't want to waste my money, as most of you don't want to waste your money. And sometimes I have bought things that were recommended by influencers and really, really regretted it. So I don't have, a ton of products in a drawer somewhere that I'm testing out. I just try to buy things that I think I'm going to like. So one of those things was the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder. And I just got the small size in the color Peach Pie. And wow, this is a beautiful powder. It goes on very fine. It has a blurring effect. It takes away the shine, doesn't mattify you too much. And the Peach Pie color has been really good for me, especially under the eyes, to contradict any blue that I might have under my eyes or in the inner corner of my eyes. So this is a beautiful powder. If you're looking for a really good setting powder, this one, I can attest, is very, very good. Because I was so disappointed when I found out that they reformulated the Givenchy Prisma Libre. I probably won't be buying the new version out of all the things that I've heard. So that's why I wanted to try this, because I wanted to have a replacement for that one when I run out of that one. Now this one I bought on a whim when I was in the drugstore last month. And that is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Powder. And I was just looking for something that I could carry with me in my purse during the day if I was having a little bit of shine breakthrough. But I've loved this so much that I've kept it at my vanity. Yes, I've been using this very regularly because it's a beautiful setting powder. It gives you that blurring effect. It isn't cakey or chalky. It's super blendable. You can build on it. For a drugstore, this is an excellent product. And in that same vein, I also got the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Bronzer. And I got the color 250 Light. This is such a good bronzer. Again, it just hints at a little bit of color. It's not over the top. Sometimes bronzers can be very orange. This one isn't. It's very neutral. It's not too cool. It's not too warm. This is just a beautiful formula. All in all, very blendable. Doesn't get streaky when you put it on. There's a reason why it's a bestseller. Blush has really been having a moment this year, hasn't it? And I have basically two blushes that have become my favorites. and what I'm turning to over and over all year long. I don't have any unfavorables in this category because nothing that I tried this year was too terrible. I have things from previous years that maybe aren't holding up, aren't really that good, but I'm trying to just focus on things that I actually purchased this year. First one in the cream blush category are these e.l.f. cream blush sticks. They're actually blush and lip colors, but I got the colors A Fine Romance and At Last. And these two are just absolutely gorgeous colors. And they go on so beautifully and they blend out so nice. I wear them constantly. I love these two blushes. They're so good. I love a cream blush. I love a liquid blush as well. But I had completely veered away from any powdered blushes because to me, they just didn't give me the luminosity I was seeking. You know, some of the powder blushes that do maybe have some of those luminous sparkles in them are too over the top and end up emphasizing any texture or pores that you have. So I really have sworn off powder blushes until I tried this. It's the Essence Pure Nude Baked Blush. And this color is Goldie Cassis. It's what I'm wearing right now. This blush has changed my life. It's a baked blush. And what I learned this year is that baked blushes start as a cream and then they're baked down. So this goes on with a very it doesn't feel creamy, it's dry, but it goes on with a creamy consistency. You can build it gently. It doesn't ever get out of control where sometimes you put a blush on and you're like, whoa, too much, it's too much, it's too much. This, no, beautiful color. And if you can see, it's sort of a lilac kind of color, like almost lavender. And that color, you wouldn't think would look so good on your skin tone, but it looks beautiful on I have a warm leaning skin tone, and this shows up as pink, as a very pretty, very natural looking pink. And it does have a little bit of luminosity to this formula, but it's just enough to be very flattering, and probably this is my favorite product of the entire year, and I think it was only like $4.99. So who knew? In the eye category, I do have some unfavorables to mention. And starting with, this was my first order of the year. I made an order on Ulta in January of this year after doing an entire no-buy year. And I ordered these two eyeshadow sticks from Maybelline. They are the color Tattoo, and I got the color I Am Courageous and I Am Fierce, which, you know, this I Am Courageous was sort of a kind of a goldy champagne color, and this was sort of a forest green color with shimmer in it. These were terrible. They were so patchy. They went on so dry, and there was no time to work them out because I like to use a fluffy brush to sort of blend them out. And these were just terrible. I tried using them multiple times, and I just couldn't get them to work. Even though it wasn't that much money because, you know, they're Maybelline, I just felt like, what a waste. I had a budget of $200 that I could spend on products, and I wasted like $10 or more between these two products, and it was just such a disappointment. And the other ones that I don't even have because I took them back were the Fenty eyeshadow sticks, and I bashed them several times since I tried them out. That was such a disappointment too because I love a good eyeshadow stick. They're so easy usually, they're very blendable, and these were just none of those things. And not only were they not easy necessarily to work with, but they did not hold up. After just a few hours, they were looking patchy. They were wearing off in weird ways. And I tried using them with 3 different eyeshadow primers. I couldn't get them to work. And so finally, after, you know, a week or 2 of trying to use them, I took them back to Ulta, and I don't like to take makeup back that I have used. That's something I very rarely do, but I was like, these are just too expensive for me to keep when they don't work, and I'm never going to wear them again. So after I got my money back, I then decided to go ahead and try the Bobbi Brown eyeshadow sticks. And so I just wanted to try a couple of colors. And so I got these 2 long wear cream shadow sticks in the color Forest and Bronze, which basically was like these Maybelline eyeshadow sticks. I should have just started with the Bobbi Brown. These are awesome. I love these eyeshadow sticks. Very creamy, very blendable. You have time to blend them out, and they stay on your eyes all day long. They don't go patchy. They don't wear off in a weird way. They don't fade. They fade gently a little bit, but they really have great staying power. So these are definitely a fave. I'm constantly wearing these. After that, I bought 3 of the Laura Mercier caviar sticks. These are the new formula. I never got to try the old formula, but I got the colors Wild Rose, Cocoa, and Moonlight. And these I've actually been really wearing constantly. And right now I'm wearing the colors Cocoa and Moonlight on my eyes. And I just love these. They're so blendable. They go on really smooth. You have time to work with them, which is really nice with an eyeshadow stick. Because sometimes you do one eye and do the next eye, and then you forgot you needed, which happens to me all the time, that I need to blend this one out. But you have time with these. And again, they don't go patchy. They go on very smooth. They last all day. They're just gorgeous. They're so easy. They're foolproof, to tell you the truth. If you don't feel like you're good at eyeshadow, try an eyeshadow stick. And sometimes you can just use one color, one and done, and that's all you need. But these are just a beautiful, perfect eyeshadow stick formula. Editing Robin here, and I just wanted to point out a couple of things that I forgot to talk about in the eyeshadow category, because although I found a lot of great eyeshadow sticks this year, unfortunately I had a couple of eyeshadow palettes that didn't quite work out for me. The first one is this e.l.f. bite-sized palette. You know, some of their little bite-sized palettes are really good. I've heard great things about them, but this one just didn't cut it. This is the Acai You bite-sized palette. Unfortunately, these colors just were not pigmented. They weren't flattering on me. I'm not really sure who these would be flattering on, to be honest with you, because they went on very, there was a lot of kickback. They went on very powdery. Really, they remind me of formulas from like the 80s drugstore formulas. And e.l.f. is great, but it just didn't do anything for me, unfortunately. And like I said, it was so hard to get pigment out of these. Like, I'll go into the darkest color here, and it may show up on my hand, but I think that you can even see on the back of my hand that as dark as this color is, it just doesn't show up very well. And let me just swatch the color next to it. Yeah, this color that's next to it was even worse. I couldn't get it to really show up on my eye at all. So this was just a complete fail, unfortunately. The next eyeshadow palette, and I didn't buy, I only bought a couple of small eyeshadow palettes this year. I bought another e.l.f. bite-sized palette. It's the green palette, and that one's okay. And I bought a Catrice green palette, Dancing Green, and that one worked out okay as well. But this one, and I'm so sorry to say it, because my husband bought this for me for Christmas, so I didn't try it out until the new year. But I have to talk about it. It's this Natasha Denona Xenon palette. I used it that one time just for that video when I was first trying it out. I didn't wear this palette, I don't think, any other time during the year. And the problem with this palette is that so many of the grays are so similar to each other that really, what's really missing from this is a black, a true black, a very dark pigmented matte black. I thought that this might be it, but if you see, when I swatch it, it's not that dark. It's not that dark. It comes out almost like a charcoal gray. That one's a cream formula, and it's kind of an oily black, which is cool. But even this one, Stellar, down from it, I swatched that, and it's like just a medium to dark gray. It's not black. So none of the darkest colors in here are truly that dark. And yeah, it was just such a disappointment. And like some of the whites in here, like I feel like, so what I said in that video was that you could literally have made this palette in a 5-shade palette. You could have gotten all the tones in here in probably just 5 shades. And it was just so disappointing that there wasn't more variety. I couldn't do much with this palette. So to me, this was a huge fail. And honestly, I mean, I did see some influencers make some videos about it at the end of last year, maybe in the beginning of the year, but nobody else talked about this palette. From what I could see, nobody else talked about this palette, which leads me to believe that to them, it was also kind of a wah wah. So unfortunately, this is just a palette I don't use, I don't see myself using, and I'm probably just gonna give it away because like I said, I've barely even touched it. I might try it again. I think I'm gonna try it to use it again in an upcoming video, just to try to give it one last shot. But we'll see what happens after that video. Now, I've done a lot of shorts trying different mascaras this year in search of my mascara soulmate. I have a couple of unfavorables, unfortunately. One of them I don't have. I probably tossed it. I don't even think it's in my empties. I haven't done an empties, I don't think, all year. But it was, unfortunately, the Beyond Lash Volumizing Mascara from Jane Iredale. And this was an expensive mascara. It was $28. And I had such high hopes because I'd heard very good things about it. But I will tell you, on me, it just flaked. Drove me crazy. It was flaking from the beginning, from when I first put it on. And then, you know, I kind of wiped away the flakes, which sometimes happens when you're applying mascara. But then by the end of the day, it was flaked all over the place. And it just, I was so upset. And it was just a huge fail. So sorry, Jane Iredale. I was not a fan of that mascara. Another mascara that was really unfavorable, very unfavorable, is this Milani highly rated mascara. It's a tubing mascara. And I love tubing mascaras. My favorite formula is probably still the Thrive Cosmetics. So I was so excited to try this, but it just went on too wet. It kind of clumped, and it was hard to build on itself because it was like so wet and thick the way that it went on. And it was a mess. Every time I tried to use it, it just felt like it was such a mess. So no, did not like that formula at all. But I did find a couple of other really good formulas this year, and they were both drugstore prices. First one was this e.l.f. Lash and Roll. And no, it's not a tubing formula, but I really love this formula because it's not necessarily a thickening formula. It's more of a lengthening and fluttery kind of formula. Really beautiful. It's just it's a great everyday formula. I will say that. Like if you don't want super dramatic eyes, but you want just a nice everyday look, this e.l.f. Lash and Roll is a really nice mascara. And her sister, the Lash Extender, I've only had this one for a few weeks, and this is a tubing mascara. and I got the color brown. And this formula is the closest tubing formula I have found to the Thrive Cosmetics. And I really like this. I've been wearing this constantly since I got it. And I like the color, I like the brown color too, because it's not like so dramatic as if you were wearing a black mascara, and it's more of like an everyday kind of color. But yes, this has fallen into my favorites. I've been using this one constantly ever since I got it. I think I have some unfavorable eyeliners, but to tell you the truth, I can't even remember what they are because either I tossed them or they've been sitting in my jar with all of my eye pencils and I don't go to it. Can't think of anything that fell on my unfavorables, although I'm pretty sure I had some. But I did come across a couple of eyeliner products this year that have become my favorites, starting with the Judy Doll liquid eyeliner with a very thin, precise felt tip. And I got the color brown and black. And this is what I'm wearing on my eyes right now. So easy to use. You can create a really thin, nice little wing. Very easy to control. It doesn't go on too thick. And if you're a beginner at using liquid eyeliners, this is the perfect one to start with because this is very easy to control. Actually, I did think of an unfavorable, and that's the NYX Epic Wear Waterproof Eyeliner. And this is a liquid eyeliner, and it comes with a little tiny, it's not that tiny, but a brush to apply it with. And let me just tell you, it's so hard to apply this product without it getting too thick, without the line getting too thick. And it's just, I much prefer like a felt tip, pen tip, or something like that. But this one is just not easy to work with, especially for someone, I mean, and I'm not even a novice at, I wouldn't say, at applying a liquid eyeliner. But for me, I couldn't, this was so hard to work with. But it did last. Once you got it on, it actually did last, but it was just really, really hard, especially if you're trying to create a little wing. It was so hard to control that. So unfortunately, this fell into my unfavorables list. Now, eyeshadow pencils, I've always had a hard time because it seems like they always want to transfer. If they're not a liquid, like the Judy Doll, they want to transfer up here to my hood. But this one has been very good, and that is the Persona eyeshadow pencil. This is a 24-hour waterproof eye pencil, and I got it in the color chocolate. And this has been a very nice eyeshadow pencil, and it does last. Once you get it on, it stays put. It doesn't travel. So I would say this is a great formula. It is easy to work with, and if you are a novice with eyeliners, this is a nice formula to start with because it's very, like I said, it goes on very smooth. It glides on very nice. And once you get it put down, it stays put. So this has fallen into one of my favorites for this year. Now you guys, these are all the lip pencil products I bought this year. And I don't even think this is everything that I bought this year, but I bought a lot of lip pencils. And I will tell you, of all the lip pencils that I bought this year, there was not a dud in the bunch. Let's just start with the high-end lip pencil that has made it into one of my favorites. And that is this Artist Color Pencil from Makeup Forever. And I got it in the color Wherever Walnut, which this has been, you know, a very popular color for many years. Goes on great, glides on nice and creamy, stays put for hours and hours. Beautiful color, very perfect kind of nude, pinky nude kind of color. This is great. I don't even think I should talk about all of these, but you know, maybe I will, because these are all favorites. These are honestly all favorite lip pencil products that I have tried this year. So let's just talk about e.l.f. For $2, I bought 4 different of their colors. And now, unfortunately, they don't put the names on the lip pencil. And that's probably one of the ways they get away with selling them for only $2. But I didn't find a bad color in the bunch. And these, again, go on very creamy, last for hours and hours, and they're just a fantastic formula. I mean, every bit as good as this one, which I think was like 28 bucks, and these are only $2. They're so good. And for $2, you could try all the colors and figure out if there's one you don't like, well, so what? You only spent $2 on it. These are definitely in my favorites for this year. And I wear all of these colors constantly. I'm wearing them. But I really just wanted to try all the different formulas that exist out there in the drugstore world, since it had been a while since I had bought lip liners. And so I tried the Maybelline Color Sensational. This is a retractable pencil, and this is in the color Rich Chocolate. Love this color. Been wearing a lot during the fall. So this is a really nice formula. These NYX, I got 2 NYX colors. I think I got more than one color in the NYX Line Loud. This is just a regular pencil, but again, beautiful formula. You know, I don't think you can go wrong with that. And then the NYX retractable lip liner in the color Dark Red. This has shown up in my red lip series, which I've been making. I made a bunch of shorts, 8 days of red lips. And so this fell into one of those days, but this is a beautiful, I don't know, lip liners have come a long way in the past few years, drugstore lip liners. But these really impressed me, and that is Essence. These Essence lip pencils, they're the soft and precise lip pencils. And I got the color Secret Life and My Choice. My Choice is a very nude pink, which is really pretty. Secret Life. Now this is a nice classic red color. So this also made it into my red lip shorts that I put out. So great formula. All of these, how can I choose? I mean, these lip liners are all very good. Something that fell into my unfavorables this year, and I'm still trying to use her, but that is this Lawless Forget the Filler lip liner. I don't know. It says it's Smooth Glide Ultra Pigmented. Okay. I got it in the color Desert Mauve. It's a beautiful color. There's just something about this that it tends to travel up into my lip lines.
Why?
I've tried many things to prevent that from happening. I've tried using concealer around my lips to build a little barrier for it, but it just seems to want to travel. And it doesn't do it every time, but most of the time it does tend to go up into my lip lines. And I don't know if it's because it's too creamy and then it's starting to melt and sort of go up into those little channels of those lip lines. But whatever it is, I stopped using it altogether because, as you know, I have all of these great lip products. Why would I use that one? But I'm still trying to use it. I'm still trying to use it, but really, I have to admit it to myself. For some reason, whatever reason, for me, it has just been an unfavorable. And I really hate that it happened like that because it was not cheap. It was not a cheap lip liner. But, you know, one thing I realized, I can find awesome quality lip liners at drugstore prices. And I don't know, I'm not saying I'll never buy another expensive lip liner, but I don't know if I will. Now, as far as lip products, I don't think these are necessarily new to this year. And that's for me anyways, that's the Maybelline Vinyl Inks. And I had a couple of colors already, but this year I got the color Royal. And let me tell you, this color is absolutely gorgeous. I get compliments on this every time I wear it. I get compliments from strangers who ask me, what color is on your lip? And so if you're looking for a nice, deep, burgundy, wine kind of color, and if it suits your skin tone, check this one out because these vinyl ink, I don't know how they do it. This is a drugstore product. Drugstore price, it's not that expensive, but it goes on sort of like a lip gloss, but it's opaque, completely opaque. And it lasts for hours and hours. It stays shiny, and yet it's dried down. It doesn't transfer onto things the way that you would imagine that it would transfer. It also doesn't wear off the way that you would imagine that it would wear off. It's some kind of magic. I don't know what they're doing with this product, but it's some kind of magic, and I'm here for it. Other lip products, I didn't buy a lot of lipsticks. It was mostly just lip liners that I became obsessed with, buying a different lip liner every couple of weeks. But this was, again, a brand who has been featured heavily in this series today, and that is the Essence Slim Sticks. And so I got two colors. I got the color Brick Red and Hot Chili. These are beautiful formulas. They go on so creamy, but yet they last. They last for hours and hours without transferring, without bleeding up into your lip lines. These are just, I don't know how they make them so affordable, but these are gorgeous formulas. So if you're looking for a new lipstick, you might want to check out the Slim Stick from Essence. And last in my lip products, although I'm sure I bought this probably 8 years ago, but I just rebought it this year, and that is the Sephora Cream Lip Stain in the color 01. It's like a classic red. This is a matte liquid lipstick. But unlike other liquid lipsticks that dry down matte, for some reason, this formula is not exceptionally drying, and I tend to have very dry lips, but I've been wearing this many times over the past couple of weeks since I got it, and I remembered why I loved it so much. It's a beautiful, beautiful formula. Matte lips are in right now. I don't know about the other colors, if they would be as good as this one is, but this one is like the best classic red matte lip that you will find. And it's the Sephora brand, so it's not as expensive as other things at Sephora. So I am really glad that I repurchased this to try it again because it is beautiful. Now I do want to give some honorable mentions. I don't want to go into all of the beauty products that I use, but when it comes to skin, and the reason why I know it's been one of my favorites is because I've bought it more than one time this year, and that is this Naturium Biolipid Restoring Body Lotion. It's a repurchase, and so when I was thinking about do I have any skincare products that have become favorites, I'm like, actually, I would say this has been a favorite this year. It's fragrance free, which I love. And it says, our replenishing body lotion works to restore skin's natural barrier for soft and supple looking skin. Formulated with omega fatty acids, shea butter, B vitamins, and sodium PCA, this lotion moisturizes skin with no greasy residue. I agree with that. I think this is a very nice lotion. And so that's become a favorite for me this year. And I have tried a bunch of new hair products this year, but one of them stands out above the rest. And that product is Color Wow Dream Coat. This product is a game changer for my hair, which I have fine, thin hair, but it has a lot of texture because it has a lot of wave. So it sort of gets like cotton candy. And so I can wear my hair curly, but lately, ever since around September when I got my hair cut, I've been wearing it straight. And this product helps my hair stay smooth and shiny through multiple washes. It lasts for 3 to 4 washes. And I only wash my hair every 3 to 5 days, and sometimes only once a week. But the thing that I notice is that when I'm using this, my hair doesn't get really crazy when I'm sleeping on it. Even though I do sleep on silk pillowcases, but even still, my hair without this is a lot more frizzy when I wake up than when I'm using this product. So this has been a standout product this year for my fine and sometimes frizzy hair. And by the way, I live in South Florida where it is super humid. Not with this. Not with this. I don't get frizzy hair. Not with this. So those are my faves and my unfavorable products this year for 2024. If you have any comments, like if you've tried some of these products and you don't agree with me, leave those below. It's helpful for other people to read your comments. And maybe you've had a different experience with them than I have. And even the ones that I don't like, if you liked those products, let me know and tell me why you liked them, how it worked for you. And like I said, all of that is not only helpful to me, but it's also helpful for other people who are watching this video. I will link everything down below, even the things that I didn't like, in case you're curious. Well, that does it for me. That is the 2024 beauty roundup of all the things that I liked and I didn't like. And there weren't too many things that I didn't like, which I'm really happy with, that I didn't waste money on products that weren't good. So thanks again for watching. I really appreciate your time. If you're not subscribed, and guys, like 81% of you are not subscribed. I just checked my analytics this morning. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. And I would love to have you back. And if you like this video, give it a like. That helps the algorithm so the YouTube gods can push my video out to get viewed by more people, which is always a challenge. But if you found any benefit in this video, then giving a like is a way to say thank you to me. And you know another way to say thank you to me is to leave a comment and say thank you. I appreciate you watching, and if you appreciate this video, leave me a little thank you or a heart or some kind of little comment below to let me know that you made it all the way to the end. Well, until next time, guys, you know what? You're doing great.